Good afternoon. I'm Irfan Sabir, MLA, Calgary-Bhullar-McCall. Let me begin by recognizing that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the signatories of Treaty 7 and also recognize and acknowledge Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection with this land. I'm joined today by Farhan Ishaq and Rupi Gal, both of whom drive cab here in Calgary. On January 1, the government of Alberta stopped collecting the provincial fuel tax. That should have resulted in a drop in price at the gas pump of at least 4 cents per liter. However, here we are a week later, and we see gas prices in Alberta on a 2-day trend of going up, according to the data from the Canadian Automobile Association. Albertans have been struggling for a long time under the stress of the high cost of living. For those Albertans who drive for a living, the added pressure of the high price of fuel is causing even greater hardship. For the second time, the UCP announced their fuel tax policy with no guarantee it will benefit drivers. Both times, the UCP said the savings from the fuel tax would be passed on to Albertans, but still there is no real evidence that this relief is actually being passed on. I will now turn it over to Farhan Ishaq to talk about it.
Thank you, Irfan Sabir. I left Kashmir, Pakistan in 1997, moved to Calgary because some friends who lived here convinced me it was a good, safe and welcoming place to live. So I have been here for 25 years, and for over past 15 years I have been driving a cab. It is a job I love. I love to flexibility, choosing my own hours and independence of beginning my own boss. And of course, you really do meet lots of very interesting people when you are driving a cab. I love that too. But these days, it is extremely financial challenge to be a cab driver. The pandemic was a different for everyone, and now with high cost of everything, the gas prices having a major impact in our livelihood. The government says the price would go down January 1st. Well, it hasn't go down. In fact, it's gone up. If government said the price would go down, why aren't they price down? The financial pressure can be substitutes. So, thank you, Irfan Sabir. I return to your
Rupi Gal.
Thank you.
So my name is Rupi Gill. I'm an owner-operator with the Calgary United Cab. And thank you, Irfan, for your input. We are here to say to the provincial government that Albertans deserve better. If you say we should see prices of relief at the pumps, then follow through on what you say and make sure the relief is passed on to drivers. Albertans who drive for a living have faced extreme hardship trying to feed their family through the pandemic. The high cost of everything means many drivers must work lots of extra shifts to make ends meet. They are away from their family, they are tired, and they are not ahead of the game. It is a cycle of survival that cannot be sustained. Thank you.
Thank you, Farhan Ishaq and Rupi Gal. The fuel price pressure is just one of many hardships Alberta drivers have been forced to endure under the UCP government. Last month, a report released by Ernst & Young showed Alberta has the most expensive auto insurance in Canada. I introduced a bill to freeze auto insurance premiums for a year while we find solution to lower premiums and make it more affordable. The UCP refused to debate us and even shut down the legislature early. We see the same unwillingness to act to help Albertans regarding the high price of fuel. We have asked for an independent review to ensure that saving from the fuel tax would be passed on to Albertans, but the UCP continues to refuse to provide any kind of transparency or accountability. Last week, my colleague, Alberta's NDP energy critic Kathleen Ganley, sent a letter to MLA David Henson in his role as chair of the Standing Committee of Resource Stewardship, requesting the committee begin a formal review of the Alberta Fuel Tax Relief Program to ensure accountability for Albertans. Today, we are here to say enough is enough. Alberta drivers demand the UCP government take action. I am restating my colleagues' call for a formal review of the fuel tax program. Albertans deserve to know whether the benefits of these programs are being passed on to them. We also need a mechanism to ensure that prices stay down and do not go back up after a few days or so. And for the sake of all driving Albertans, we are also calling on this government to freeze auto insurance premiums for a year so that we can find solution to lower them. Before I take your questions, I want to respond to UCP's announcement earlier today regarding affordability payments. I sincerely hope that the UCP's portal functions properly and Albertans are able to use it easily, but nothing in the UCP records suggests that. In fact, the UCP's history of developing these online tools has been one failure after another. As recently as Saturday, Danielle Smith said she expected this would likely crash on day one. Meanwhile, there is an existing system that we all use to pay our taxes, which the UCP could have made use of, but they refused. Instead, Albertans are paying for the UCP to build a duplicate system that may or may not function properly. And for many Albertans, there are no benefits available through this new portal. I was also very disappointed to hear that Minister Jones has no idea what he is doing to reduce the cost of auto insurance when they have my bill to freeze rates easily at hand, and we could have frozen rates in December. On all these matters, the UCP is not serious about addressing the affordability crisis they helped create. Thank you, and I'm happy to take your questions.
Okay, we'll start with questions in person. Okay, seeing none, we'll go to questions on the line. First question goes to Alana Smith.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Sorry about that. So I had a question just about the affordability payments. I'm just wondering if you can speak to whether the NDP believes that it was designed to help the right people. Like, is this 180K cutoff correct? Should it have been less? Should it have been more? Is it helping enough people? Too many people? Kind of just what are your thoughts on that?
I think it was very poorly designed, and it leaves out almost half of the Albertans, and certainly cutoff is way too high. That program could have been designed way better, but that's what we have come to expect from the UCP.
Did you have a follow-up, Alana?
Yes, please. Thank you. Can you just explain how the NDP would have designed it if they had the opportunity to do so?
I think for now, we will speak to the UCP program. We would have done many things differently before this cost of living would have reached a crisis point. We would not have removed the rate cap from insurance. We would not have removed a rate cap from utilities. We would not have jacked up tuition fees. We would not have brought the healthcare system at the brink of collapse over and over. We would have done many things differently, but the program at hand is very poorly designed. It leaves almost 2 million Albertans out. Cutoff is certainly very high, and Albertans are still waiting for the first payment to arrive.
Okay, we'll go to our next caller. Next question goes to Catherine Krakowski.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for taking the question. This might be a question for Mr. Hassad or Mr. Gill, but whoever wants to answer. I'm wondering if long-term, if any drivers are looking at switching to hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles, or if electric vehicles are even practical here. I'm wondering if there's any, with the rising price of gas.
Well, we are already driving hybrid vehicles in the fleets, right, already. And the gas prices are keep on going up, and plus the insurance rates are so high. That's what the Jason Kenney did, that no-fault system for the insurance, that's killing the drivers, especially in taxi industry. Even your non-fault accident, you still have to pay deductible, and this is very costly for the drivers. We don't make our ends meet.
Did you have a follow-up, Catherine?
Yeah, so I guess out of the auto insurance review, the minister said it's happening, but he didn't give a timeline for when. So one of the things you'd be seeking is a reversal of that no fault system.
Like, yeah, it would be better if they help the drivers for the insurance, right? The no fault system is very, very costly for the driver. And same thing for the gas prices. You don't see them at the pump going down. You see them, in city, in the everywhere. Anywhere you go in the south or north or east or west, the prices are so high.
And sorry, one more follow-up. The rates are set by the city, right? Like there's a commission for vehicle. I know in Edmonton there's a vehicle for hire commission, so it's not like you can raise your rates, right?
No, no, no. Like we wouldn't like to raise the rates. Why would you want to hurt the public, right? We can try. The government can help with the gas and insurance, bring the cost lower, so then we have no problem. Why you want to put the rate high and then you going to suffer all the other people too, right? The public.
Okay, next question goes to Emmanuel Prince from Radio Canada. Go ahead, Emmanuel, your line is open. Okay, I think we'll come back to Emmanuel. Next question goes to Mandeep. Okay, I guess we'll have to come back to Mandeep as well or follow up later. Catherine, did you have another question? No, okay. Seeing no more questions, that's all for today. We'll follow up with Emmanuel and Mandeep. Oh, sorry, we got one more here in person. Yeah.
What can be done to make sure the people who fell through the cracks, aren't eligible for the relief program, get it or who need it?
As I said, that the program is very poorly designed, and we pointed that out very early on when they announced those payments. And the government can and must do better. As I said, this program leaves out almost 2 million Albertans, and cutoff is 180,000. So I think that's another failure of this government to govern properly and design program that will actually give relief to Albertans.
Okay, and seeing no more questions, that's all for today. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you.
Much for watching, and to learn more, check out albertasfuture.ca.